If I could describe Wix in one word, it would be freedom. Wix is the website builder most committed to giving you as much freedom as possible. Freedom! Unfortunately, at times, all that freedom can make Wix feel chaotic. I'll explain that further in this video, and I'll also get into everything else you need to know about Wix. Themes, e-commerce, SEO, pricing, and more. My reviews are supported by affiliate commissions, so if you'd like to try Wix, you can click the link to it in the video description below, and I may earn a commission. So let's start by talking about Wix's editor. Wix is what I call an unstructured editor. You can literally drag any element anywhere you want on a page. You can move it here, here, and here. You can even nudge elements over by just a pixel. This is the biggest difference between Wix and other website builders. Most website builders are a structured editor. For example, this is Squarespace's editor. Squarespace lets you drag and drop elements, but only within a pre-designed grid. See those black boxes popping up? You can only drop an element into those boxes. You can't just drag anything anywhere like you can with Wix. The upside to Wix's blank canvas editor is pretty obvious: freedom. But there are downsides too. Let me show you what I mean with some examples. Watch as I add text to this element. Notice how the elements below it also move down. That's smart. I wouldn't want text to just overlap the image. The same thing happens when I start to remove text. The image moves back up the page. But if I delete the text element, nothing moves up the page. Instead, you have to scroll down and grab everything else and drag it back up the page. That's tedious and something you wouldn't have to do in a structured editor like Squarespace. Let me give you another example. I'm going to move this image to the top of the page. Awesome. But when I go to the mobile version of the website, we'll see that the image hasn't moved to the top of the page there. The desktop and the mobile designs have gotten out of sync. And now I have to edit the website twice, once on desktop and once on mobile. These problems are a result of Wix's unstructured editor. They wouldn't happen on a structured editor like Squarespace. Structured editors like Squarespace aim to save the users from themselves. It provides parameters and constraints, a safety net. For example, in Squarespace, it would be impossible for text to overlap an image. But within Wix, it's easy to do, in spite of the fact that you should never ever do this. You're probably starting to hear my bias. I'm a web developer and I like structured editors. I think it's the right approach. But I have to be fair. Some people will like the freedom of Wix and find structured editors to be constricting. It kind of depends on what you're looking for. The best analogy is Mac versus PC. Wix is more like PCs, lots of freedom, but less of a safety net. Now let's look at some of the elements Wix includes. Elements are things like text, photos, and forms, the building blocks of a page. Wix includes a huge selection of elements. There's different navigation elements, there's different boxes, different buttons, different audio players, and much, much more. One of my favorite Wix elements are repeaters. I've never seen them in any other website builder, but basically it's a simple design that you can repeat down the page. You can adjust one element, and then the other repeated elements will also adjust. That's really clever. Wix also has an app market with about 300 apps that add elements and integrations with other software companies. It's always handy to have those options. Wix throws so much at you that occasionally I'm confused by some of the options. For example, you can crop images into shapes. Why? I don't know. Why would you ever need to crop an image into this shape? What is this shape even? But that's Wix. They kind of throw everything at you, and they leave it up to you to decide what you want to do with it. Now let's talk themes. Wix has over 500 themes, though the quality can be inconsistent. Some themes are clean and modern, while other themes feel a little bit outdated. The thing with some of the themes is that adjusting them is actually pretty tricky. The unstructured editor makes it pretty easy to screw it up. There's not much of a safety net. Another consequence of the unstructured editor is that once you've chosen a theme, you're locked into it. You can't swap to another theme at a later date. So make sure to take your time when choosing the theme. The upside to the unstructured editor is that you can really go to town on your website. You can customize and make significant design changes. This is different from structured editors like Squarespace, which are more constraining. With Wix, you can honestly make enough changes to design your website entirely from scratch if you want to. A quick note about Wix SEO. If you Google around, you'll find that Wix has a bit of a checkered SEO reputation. Mostly because Wix used to use Flash in their websites up until about a few years ago, and Flash sucks for SEO. But Wix has moved on from Flash, and that's really no longer a problem. Your website's SEO will be totally fine on Wix. Now to close, I want to show you some things about Wix's pricing. The first thing to point out is that Wix advertises the per month cost of an annual plan. So the price you see on the pricing page is not the month-by-month cost. It's the annual cost divided by 12. Now, the two cheapest plans aren't worth using. The Connect Domain plan includes an ad on your website, and though the combo plan is ad-free, it limits you to 2 gigabytes of bandwidth per month. And since the average Wix page is 1.4 megabytes, you're going to go through that pretty quickly. For most people, the plan to use is the unlimited plan. No ads and unlimited bandwidth. The way to save money with Wix is to buy annual plans. I did a breakdown of the savings and found you save 56% on an annual plan when compared to the month-to-month plan. All right, let's wrap things up. The word to remember with Wix is freedom. It's got an unstructured editor that lets you drag anything anywhere. Unfortunately, the unstructured editor also creates some challenges, but if you can live with those challenges, you're probably going to love Wix's flexibility and features. My reviews are supported by affiliate commissions, so if you'd like to try Wix, you can find a link to it in the video description below. Thanks for watching, and good luck building your website.